When we look at presidential politics and the polling, we know Mitt Romney has a little uphill climb. There's a gender gap. There's also a huge problem with Latino voters. Let's continue our conversation with Ron Brownstein, Kevin Madden, and Donna, Brazile. Kevin, just today, out campaigning with Senator Rubio, he has a different version of what's now called the DREAM Act. The president had a version. The Republicans don't support it. Governor Romney doesn't support the Democratic version. Essentially, if you came to this country illegally, but you were a child, so your parents brought you over, you had nothing to do with it. If you're in college or if you enroll in the military, you get some benefits, you get a break, and you get a path to status. How important is the Rubio version, which is a little less generous, I guess, in its benefits to the Republican Party and potentially to Governor Romney in dealing with what is a huge problem with Latinos?
Well, look, first of all, we have to remember that the Rubio Plan is still in its genesis stage. He's having conversations across the aisle. He's having conversations with leadership about what that would look like. I think what's most important on this particular issue is that the Rubio approach allows Republicans to talk about what they're for. All too often as a party, we take the bait, whether media or Democrats, to make this a very divisive issue about what we're against. And I think an aspirational Republican plan about what a modernized immigration system looks like is good for the party, and I think it'll be good for the political debate, and it'll help us make better inroads.
But Romney's mixed or cool or standoffish response today
You need to study it.
was emblematic of the challenge Republicans face. In the long run, I think everyone agrees, all serious strategists in the Republican Party agree, they cannot allow Democrats to continue winning two-thirds of Hispanics, as Obama did in 2008, and where he's polling again in 2012. But today, they are heavily dependent and are winning preponderant majorities among the portions of the white electorate, older whites and blue-collar whites, who are the most uneasy about the demographic change that is going on. And this is a fundamental conundrum. That vote is a pretty tight leash on them on this issue. You've already heard voices in the Republican Party, the most conservative voices in immigration, opposing what Marco Rubio was doing, which would allow these children of young illegal immigrants who were brought here as kids to stay, but not provide them citizenships. Democrats will say that doesn't go far enough. The conservatives are already saying that goes too far. So how can they make this leap from the coalition they have to the coalition they need? No one has fully answered that yet.
Governor Romney said at the CNN debate on February 22nd that SB 1070, the Arizona law, immigration law, is a model for the country. That law is going to be debated before the Supreme Court on Wednesday. This is not about responding to Democrats or responding to the media. It's about responding to millions of Americans who believe that there should be a fair way for them to become citizens. They've worked hard, they've paid their taxes, they want to become Americans. They believe in this country, they want to have a piece of the American dream. So you don't have to respond to Democrats, respond to the Hispanics directly.
Just real quick, Governor Romney during the debate and today actually also talked about what he believes in as it relates to immigration, what a modernized immigration system looks like, and how it would help not only Hispanics, but how it would help the entire economy. So he's actually been one of the candidates that's been the best on this issue on talking about it. Now, we need to do more. That's a guarantee. But I think the governor has been very clear to make sure he hasn't framed this in terms of what he's against. He's talked about more about what he's for.
But he also has embraced attrition through enforcement, the self-deportation idea, which is, a step to the right of even where Republicans were in opposing the pathway to citizenship.
Democrats and Republicans agree. Democrats and Republicans agree that we need common sense enforcement issues.
We do.
Well, we need common sense conversations on this, and the tone and the tenor, it's not just the substance, it's the tone sometimes that has hurt Republicans. If Senator Rubio puts something on the table that gives the Democrats that 65–70% of what was in the original DREAM Act, do you legislate and say, we'll take that for now, we'll debate more later, or will we do what we've done on every other issue the last 4 years in Washington and do that?
Ted Kennedy sat down, and they came up with a plan, and at one point, John McCain embraced it. And then,
Republicans voted for it.
So, look, there's no question Democrats are willing to come to the table to talk about this issue.
Will they do it before the election? Would they?
Well, let's
some Democrats would say we're taking the bait, we're doing the Republicans a favor if you try to do it before the election.
Look, I'm thinking more like an American who knows millions of Americans who want to find a path to citizenship.
That's a good point, though. I mean, one of the big challenges for the president right now is that there are many Hispanic Americans out there who feel that this was a president who talked more and didn't act enough on the issue of immigration.
Most Democrats would say the Rubio approach does not go far enough, but some key elements in the immigration rights community might be tempted to accept it.
Take some progress. Ron, Kevin, Donna will continue the conversation. Here's Kate Baldwin. She's back with the latest news you need.